Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming, and we are back into Cities Skylines. Indeed, we are. And we are just looking at an overview of the city. Where we last left off, we did expand over into the agricultural area. And we were also taking a look at various screens, and we are in the process of planning to get up to the 2200 for Boomtown. We only need 100 and... yes, indeed, 29 people. So we are going to need to push the population up just a little bit. And chances are, with this number of housing, we are not going to be able to get Boomtown. So we are going to need to lay down some more residential. And what I'll probably do is lay down some residential here. How we just also want to check the various other things like leisure. Leisure is all right here, but we will want to probably make sure to leave some space for parks, as we have done. But we can probably fill in some of these other areas, because we can get one park here. This will cover this area. Another park down here, which will cover here. And maybe one park over here. So that's what we'll want to pay attention to. What we'll also want to look at is education. And right now we don't have any education at all. So we are going to want to think about where we are going to have our elementary school. It's probably going to be in here somewhere. And this is a very awkward grid, more or less, because it's hard to get the coverage that you need, especially, the elementary school. I may throw it here. It'll provide some access to here and over here. This might be low end, but it should do for now. I could also expand over here and just extend my low density down here as well, because I am thinking, let's just jump out of that. No, not that. I am thinking of building more high density once I get access to it up here. Be kind of a little weird next to the agricultural section, but that's that. This will probably be another residential area, a little bit close to the industrial areas, but we do want to have these pockets of residential around. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned in the previous episodes, but the Boomtown does come with buses and the transport options. And of course the events, wind turbines, bus depot, and of course highways. So we'll be able to play around with those as well as a new area unlocks. And we'll want to really take a look at buses and how it really affects the traffic, and how you can reduce the amount of cars that are on the road just by making and planning effective routes for your buses to travel on. Because one thing you find in a lot of cities, there's a lot of people, if you were to watch online, they'll throw down bus routes. You'll get the happy signs or happy faces, and they will think, okay, that's helping everything. Of course, buildings upgrade, and they won't really look at how effective their transport actually is. And I've done some research on this, and it looks like roughly once you go past, 2 or 3, let's say, 2 or 3 transfers or connections. For instance, if someone's here and they want to take a bus over here, ideally you'd want to have them have one bus to go from here to here, or you'd want to have a main bus route that goes back and forth, so that they can get there between those two locations. And some people, they'll do a loop in here, they'll do a loop in here, and do a loop in here. And one person in particular, it's a pain to see him do mass transit. He'll have the loop here, loop here, loop here, and then he'll connect a loop here, or connect 2 stations here, or 2 stops here, so that you basically if you want to go from here to here, you have to take one bus to get to the transfer spot, take another bus to transfer to another bus, then transfer to another bus, and then transfer to the final bus to get to your destination. That's like Take 1 bus, 2 buses, 3 buses, 4 buses, and 5 buses just to get from point A to point B. And based on what I understand, Sims don't like to do more than 2 or 3 transfers. And if you think in the real world, if you are a bus driver or a bus goer and you're a passenger on the bus system, how many do you want to take to get from where you're starting to your destination? For me, I've spent time as a bus passenger, and ideally 1 transfer is what you want. And if the city's designed well or the bus system is designed well, you shouldn't ever have to transfer more than twice to get it to wherever you need to go. And so basically what you want to do when you are thinking about laying down your bus systems is, people generally have 3 priorities when it comes to how they travel from point A to point B. In most cases, it's obviously residential to their jobs. So you'll obviously want to have a bus route that connects both basically those locations. In this case, I'll probably have a bus route that loops around here, goes in here, loops here, and back. Or I might loop through here, kind of do a loop like this. That's one option. Another option is that, they live here, they work or they shop down here, and they want to get from there, from where they live to where they shop. And so that's, if you can take advantage of, connecting both of those in the same route, that's good. And the final is, you leave home, go to work, go shopping, go home, and that was roughly how it was described in one of the guides, which I'll post a link in the description on Steam Workshop, or just Steam in general. I don't know if it's on the workshop or just the discussion section, community, whatever, but it'll be down there. And he kind of talks about that as a transit management. Anyway, enough of that. We are just still on pause, and we've been on pause since I started. Anyway, so let's jump out of here and let's see how our population is doing. And yeah, for the most part, we have most of our zones have been filled up. What we are going to do is we are going to put some residential. No, I don't want that tool, not the fill tool, just the marquee tool. And I'm going to leave that a gap because I could also build a pedestrian path through there. And I don't know, I might do something with that or change things around. Let's put a residential there and some more here. And we are just going to leave, say, 8 spaces just in case we want to put in a big park of some sort. Now we already have a park here. Let's zone that. Take that out for now. But we do have indeed a big industrial demand, so that's where we are going to jump to next, because we got a lot of residents, but we may not have a lot of jobs. I'm going to leave that open just in case. One thing that these spaces would be good for, even if I don't actually build a road through here, is if I decide to bring in, say, a metro in here. That's a 2x2 space, perfect spacing for, say, metro building in there. Let's zone in some more industrial here, because we have obviously the demand for it. And we're going to want to check, yeah, obviously they're going to have power, but they may not have water. So we are going to extend this a little bit further and just make sure that everything is covered and we don't have any problems there. At the moment, we haven't zoned anything here, so we don't actually have to worry about water. They can grab the water from this mostly. Now we also have a demand for commercial, so we are going to lay down a little bit more commercial. We don't want to go crazy with this or not, because, reasons. And we are going to want to stay one away, and let's do about this. That looks good. And we just want to let things develop and grow. And we are at 2092, so that is good. Let's look, and yes, indeed, more people have moved in. We still have a little bit of residential demand, but we'll see if that carries us over the 2200. the industrial demand has diminished a bit, but that's, because it's been diminished because we added more industrial. Let's lay in some more industrial here. And how do I want to do this? That's right, I was going to have highway access into here, so I don't really need to. In my previous city, I had like a road access direct from the highway into here like that. But I'm not going to do that because this is good enough here. Still, there is more commercial demand, and those lots have mostly snapped up. So what we are going to do is we are going to put a bit more commercial there. And we are just going to soothe the numbers and just add in as we need it. You don't want to mass zone a large number of spots just because you want to give them time to develop and move in. And 80, so we are going to extend this. If we go to the 440, the only thing is that's 440 from here and not from here. So we are going to actually go to 380. Oh, there is, no, not 380, 360. Yes, indeed. And so that will be right about there. No, right about there. And how does that? Yep, that's good enough. We are going to want to extend our industrial area. And just look at our districts. Yep, that's within the industrial zone. So let's lay down some more roads. We'll go with the 2-lane roads as those are sufficient for our industrial needs. And industrial I find works best with a grid. You don't need to really be fancy. And let's lay down some more industrial. This will do. And just to boost our, where is it? Plaza, small park, park with trees, plaza with picnic tables. That's expensive. $15,000. Wow. And this is a plaza with trees, $2,500. So what we are going to do, and mainly the reason why they do like this, is that workers that work here, they might want to spend their lunch break at the plaza. So, it does help them a bit. Although, for the most part, happiness, is it? Leisure. So yeah, these eyes are improving a bit. Let's just take a look to see what they need. They are operating normally. No level up info required or available. So yeah, they're not going to level up right away. Do they want anything in particular? For the most part, no. Everything is pretty satisfactory. Now, do they got, yeah, they got decent, oh, that's fire coverage, yeah, that's alright. But we may want to say 28, oh, look at that. I want to just pause it. Yes, indeed, we are very, very close to Boomtown. Right now, we are sitting at 2,800. Unfortunately, what will happen, of course, is that, oh, I just noticed I made a mistake. Yes, indeed, they apparently have no power here, but that could also be, yes, that's just a brownout. That's not because they're cut off from power. Anyway, let's jump back out and our, oh, $21.99. Really? One more person. We just need one person to come in to get us the next level of upgrade. And is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? There it is. There's the boomtown. 3 people came in, and we reached a population of 2,200. We have a new area. We got buses available, so they'll want to start looking for buses. The ore industry is available, so we will be able to take advantage of. I think no. Oh no! That's oil that we have right there. That's not the ore industry. Okay, we have recycling available, but we're still a fairly small town, and we don't really need to be concerned about it. Yes, it does drop the amount of garbage produced, but we have space to put landfills down, and that's not really much of a concern. But we do have highways and all the many overpasses I built, plus advanced wind turbines, the bus depot, of course, and cemeteries. So at this point, people are going to start dying. Until now, all the citizens were immortal. They wouldn't have died. We wouldn't have been affected by dead people. But now we have to be concerned about the zombie apocalypse. So we gained, that was a fairly decent amount. I think we had about $7,000-8,000 in our bank account. So we gained $35,000, I think. But we are, of course, going to need it. And one thing I did before starting this episode is actually dezoning the industrial that was sitting here. Mainly that was because when you look at resources, they weren't really yellow. It's not really that good farming. And I was really looking to zone the industrial here. This is something we are going to want to look at. And right now, 49 hectares of fertile land. We are using one of them. And yes, we do need power. So we can actually now look at the advanced wind turbines. Indeed, we can put some offshore. Where would we want to put them? Or do we want to have the regular wind turbines? No, I wouldn't want to deal with those. But what I am going to do is look at, with this, we do get the 2x2 area, so we can expand if we want. But I just want to check the next upgrade. Busy town, reach a population of 4,000 people, so that's another 1,800 to go. City planning policies. You can emphasize certain features in your city or districts with city planning policies. So that's, like the heavy truck ban, yes, free public transit, and the oil industry. So we need another 1,800 people. We basically need to double our population. We need to think about where we're going to put the various people. We're going to obviously need to develop a new residential area because we don't yet have high density zoning. We have, yes indeed, or we will be able to get these decorative grass and tree lane covered roads. But then, yes, police headquarters and fire station, oil power plant, and hospital comes available. Oil power plant, obviously, because we get the oil industry specialization. But that's not till now. So right now, what I did want to do is check in here is whether we got another area. So right now, we only have one area available to us, and we will want to use it to build up our residential, ideally. But we are also going to want to think about where we are going to want to expand. So this gives us access to a highway. And do we have access? Can I spin this around and possibly... If we look closely, yes indeed, we would get rail access. And that is another thing I wanted to check. Trains do not yet become available. So that's probably at the next population milestone. So we won't have to worry yet about connecting to the rail network. And we will want to eventually. I just wanted to... Let's jump out of this for now. Let's rotate it back around. That would be good. I believe, yeah, we do get rail access here. So, I don't want to build up here, or I may eventually, but that would require grabbing this or this, and there's a whole lot of water, so I may not end up doing that. So we have basically this spot. This doesn't really give us anything, but it allows us to continue our district if we were building in this. But we will also want to make sure that we pick somewhere which will be valuable for us for the relative foreseeable future. I really like this. And that allows us to extend this. And extend Drum Island. I did officially change the name of this. I'm going to kind of name things based on the real world, but you know, it's just kind of wanted to do. So this has a lot of building area. And this opens up the rest of Drum Island. It gives us a rail connection, which we can utilize later up coming up, but we don't really need it right now. There is ore there. I don't really like how all the industry, all the ore is. As like this would be a great, residential commercial area. So what I'm going to do, I like this large area of development, and it would allow, but we are by no means able to really extend or expand. So what I'm going to do, since this is really close, I'm going to take this for now. It'll cost us $9,100 compared to something like this, $7,600. I'm going to grab this one. Let's go for it. Alright, so that is our area. That's the new area, and yes indeed, we can throw a rock at the highway and it will, it's just that within our grasp, but of course we needed this tile in order to be able to get to that tile. And this does give us a rail connection when we are ready to need it. And what I may do is right now is a great time to also think about where I would want to have rail. In my previous city, I only had a rail connection coming in from outside, way up from the distance, coming in just a service as like a tourist line. And I didn't really utilize rail from the perspective of the residents itself. So this could be, what I probably will do is I'll have a rail spur come off here, come around here, and probably in around here, up and through there. I'll probably run it over here. I'll definitely be buying this. Or I'll run it somewhere around here. But I'll also have the rail coming in here. Probably have a cargo station here to provide access to them, and cargo in here. Actually, yeah, this would be a very good place for cargo. Yes, indeed, it would be. So I'll definitely be having kind of utilizing a ring railroad and a few stations to allow people to eventually get around to the various districts. But until then, that will have to wait until next time. I know I did spend a little bit of time trying to decide what I want to do, as well as just ramble on, as I am prone to. That should not come as any surprise if you've seen my episodes. On the one hand, I didn't bounce around like a kangaroo on steroids, but so that's a good thing. Oh, what a mental image there. Kangaroo on steroids. Best. Anyway, thanks for watching. And Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.